Well, that's one way to start off Transformation Challenge. Day 1 at Orangetheory Fitness, Monday, January 21st. Day 4, yes, it is snowing. Week 3, day 7. Day 8, I think. Whew, baby. All right, Orangetheory Transformation Challenge, week 5, day 11. Okay, day 13. What are we on? Week 7. I think I've lost track. Day, I don't know, probably 19. It was an ESP workout, endurance, strength, and power. Power day, strength day, endurance day. Today was a benchmark day. New coach to me, he's been here for a while. His name's Louis, Coach Ross, Coach Amy, Coach Mark, 22, 23 splat points. Got 25 splat points, 38 splat points, guys. Junkies, the Orangetheory Fitness Transformation Challenge is over. I did 20 workouts in 8 weeks, and today I'm going to share with you how that all went. So in case you are unfamiliar with Orangetheory Fitness and their philosophy and how they operate, here's a quick rundown of how their workouts function. The goal is to earn splat points. Now, these splat points are basically the number of minutes you spend at 85% of your maximum heart rate or higher. If you are between 85 and 91%, that's the orange zone, and if you are above 91%, you're in the red zone. So if you get 12 or more splat points, you start to trigger what's called the afterburn effect, which basically means that your body is burning calories at a higher rate after a workout than it would if you hadn't spent that time in those higher heart rates. And every year they do an 8-week transformation challenge. The idea is that you are going in 2 to 3 days a week over the course of 8 weeks, and you are tracking your progress. For many people, this is a weight loss process, but for me, I went into the transformation challenge knowing that I needed to build strength. Now, if I lost weight, that would be a nice side effect, but that certainly wasn't my expectation. I also needed the consistency that I wasn't getting just by making myself go and do some kind of cross training. And I know that if I just go in, somebody tells me what to do for an hour, and then I leave, I don't have to make any decisions over it just to show up. Now, the hardest part for me going into this challenge for the first few weeks was how to manage my effort and my energy during the workout. A lot of us have dealt with this, right? You get gung-ho about something, you go in, you work way too hard, you end up causing damage, you end up just taking a few days or a few weeks off before you try again, and the whole cycle starts over again. Now, I did try to manage that, and it took a couple weeks to kind of find a groove over it, but I was able to come up with a system. Because the idea of building strength, just like anything else with our fitness journey, is not an overnight process. It takes time and consistent practice and patience to build that muscle and endurance. So knowing that going into the transformation challenge, I was able to learn very quickly how to manage that energy and that effort so I wasn't destroying myself. Orangetheory Fitness Studios have 3 areas: the treadmill, the rower, and the weight room. Now with that, here's how I approached these sessions, and it took a couple weeks for me to find the groove over this. So for each of the 3 sessions per week, I would start out on the treadmill, on the rower, and then in the strength room. On the day I started on the treadmill, that was a specific run day. My coach Christine and I just had the conversation that I would treat that like a speed workout. It would be that kind of focused, key workout for my running specific journey. So when I'm really going all out, I'm hitting 7 miles per hour, and that translates to about 8:15, 8:30 minute miles. And those treadmill days were the days I tended to earn the most splat points. Okay, so the next day I would start on the rower, and then that would be my focus. So I would push a little harder on the rower. The rower was really nice for me because I could go easy and get my heart rate to come down, or I could push a little harder and really get my heart rate to come back up. It was just like the treadmill, but without the impact. Now, on those days that I started on the rower, once I got all the way around to the treadmill, I was a power walker. I didn't go any faster than about 4 miles per hour, but I used a lot of incline. And as many of us know, hills create power for runners. And then on the 3rd day of the week, I would start in the strength room. So I would warm up over there, do some pretty heavy lifting. I would lift heavier weights than I would normally and really get that work in. And then I would still get my splat points on the treadmill and the rower, but I would kind of take it a little easier over there. Now, this rotation did a couple of things for me. First off, it kept me from getting bored, which is huge. If I just do the same thing day after day, I will lose motivation. So switching it up every day, not only did I go in and I had almost a different coach almost every single day, but the focus of that day was different. Endurance, strength, power, sometimes it was all three. But then I chose where I started and what my focus would be for the day. I loved having that kind of control over how I approached each work. Now, the other thing this did, this focused concentration on one area, it kept me from overtraining, because if I went all out for all three areas 3 days a week, I would have really dropped into that overtraining hole. And as it stands, I think a couple times during this 8 weeks, I kind of peeked over into that overtraining hole, and knowing that, I was able to step it down a little bit. But 2 out of the 3 days a week, I was very careful with my effort, and I was very cognizant of how I was spending that time. And I would go into each workout saying, okay, I'm not gonna go into the red, or as soon as I get into the red, I'm going to ease off and try to get myself back down into the orange and green. Or I would say, okay, I'm not going to exceed this number of splat points. So I had to kind of manage my energy and my effort throughout the hour. So after 8 weeks and 20 sessions, what do I think of the Orangetheory Fitness Transformation Challenge? Now, I've mentioned this in recent weekend updates that I have seen a dramatic difference in my running performance. Not only that, but in some of the tougher daily life tasks. I have gotten faster as a runner, and I have increased in overall strength from head to toe. This challenge helped me get through a really tough scuba weekend recently, and we just had 10 inches of blizzard snow, and I was able to shovel that snow without too much trouble. In fact, I kind of had fun building a snow fort. After that, I didn't have a lot of fatigue or muscle soreness, so I really feel like this challenge has helped me in everything. It has made a huge difference for me, and I don't know that I look any different, but I feel different because I feel stronger. I know I didn't really lose any weight. In fact, I gained weight at the midpoint, and then I dropped back down because my metabolism is up, because I've built more muscle. And I will take that anytime. Now, the other thing about this challenge is that 3 days a week is a bit much for my schedule. I was able to manage it for 8 weeks. That seemed like a doable chunk of time, but over that period of time, it did get a bit tedious, and logistically it was a challenge. And with a race in the middle of all of that, I had New Orleans right in the middle of that, and I needed to be careful where I was actually putting those sessions so I wasn't overdoing it before I went into race day. Luckily, I was able to manage that effort, and I still PR'd New Orleans. Another thing I loved about this challenge is that for 3 days a week, I had a climate-controlled environment where I just showed up, somebody told me what to do for an hour, I got my sweat on, and I walked out. We had a rough winter season. The weather has been spotty at best. We've had a lot of snow, a lot of really, really cold days. So it's not safe to run outside, not just because of the cold, but because of the snow and ice. With all of that unpredictable weather, I was able to go into Orangetheory 3 days a week and not worry about it. So now that the challenge is over, how will I approach Orangetheory Fitness? I'm still gonna go. The 3 days a week, every single week was a bit much for me, logistically speaking, scheduling wise, and I miss running outside. So I will probably drop back down to 2 days a week, and I'm still gonna use one of those as my hard running workout, and then I will use the other one as a strength workout. Now, here is the thing about Orangetheory Fitness and being a distance runner. I live in that half marathon zone. I like to be 8 to 10 weeks out from a hard race effort for a half marathon. That's just where I like to be. Now, Orangetheory is not designed to give you high mileage. Going to Orangetheory 4 days a week probably won't train you up for anything more than a 10-miler. You need the miles, you need the time on your feet, and Orangetheory will make you stronger. but there is too much of a good thing on that side if you're missing out on the mile. This is not to say that Orangetheory Fitness does not have a place in a distance runner's plan. It absolutely does. I think there are a lot of benefits to it. Building strength at Orangetheory will help you when you are out doing your long runs. It will help increase your performance and improve your recovery after that long run. Just going a couple of days a week will do wonders for your performance as a runner. The bottom line is this: the Orangetheory Fitness Transformation Challenge kicked my training up a level. I feel like a stronger, faster, more efficient runner, and that was the whole point from the very beginning. My question for you today is this: did you participate in the Orangetheory Fitness Transformation Challenge? If so, how did it go for you? Please let me know in the comment section down below. As always, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Guys, thank you so much for watching and following me on this journey. Really appreciate you being here. I will see you on the next one. Until then, go find your awesome and happy running. My noon spilled all over the inside of my bag. So my shoes are wet, my socks are wet. And that, guys, is all she wrote for the Orangetheory Fitness Transformation Challenge, day 20.